Hey, what's up guys? Casey Mitchell here at Bodybuilding.com, better known as that one leg monster. And today I'm here to show you guys a little chest routine that I do. Consists of a little bit of powerlifting, but also with some bodybuilding into it as well. I'm gonna perform to the best of that I can for you guys. If you guys didn't know, a couple days ago, I trained with Jeremy Buendia and Hani Rambod, and I am sore. But that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and push through this chest workout. I'm gonna do a little bit of warm-ups, and then on the bench press, and then I will get into my actual working sets where I'll show you guys some of the things that I do. If you guys have any questions on like some of my form or why I do certain things that I do, go ahead and ask, and I'll answer those for you guys. And then I'm gonna get into something that I like to do. I do very long pause reps on bench press. The one thing is that a lot of people have a hard time with is learning how to have leg drive in their bench press. And I came up with a little thing that I have felt really works really well with learning how to get the leg drive. And so after I do my bench pressing, I'll do that part of the workout and I'll show you guys that as well. And if you guys have questions on that, that'll probably be where you guys will be asking me a lot of questions, and I'll answer all of those for you to the best that I can. After I get done with that, I'm gonna be moving over to incline dumbbells to hit the upper chest. I do tend to really try to go heavy on that as well. And then after that, I'm gonna do a 100-pound dumbbell AMRAP for you guys, which is I'll do the 100 pounds on the incline for as many reps as possible. That's just something I like to do at the end, just to slam as much blood as I can into the chest before I continue on and doing chest flies and triceps. So I'm gonna go ahead and start on here with my warm-ups. I'm just gonna get my whole body warmed up. The one things I like to get warmed up are my chest, obviously, my shoulders, my triceps, and a lot of people for some reason like to neglect their lats. And with bench pressing, your lats come into play. So you wanna be sure that you warm up your lats as well. So right now, basically all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna warm up all those body parts, and then I'll start working out on the bench. So. The one thing is you want to really make sure that you are warming up your joints real well prior to like big movements. Get the blood flow going. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like I said, it is a warm up. And this is just to get some motion going. And the rep scheme is all on you guys on like what you want to do with the rep scheme. I just tend to kind of do whatever is feeling good, and what weight that I want to use is all up to you guys. Like I said, it is just warming up. It is just getting the blood flow in there, and it's just getting the joints moving and the ligaments warmed up and everything like that as well. So I did 30-pound dumbbells there. I'm actually going to go down, get up a little bit more rep volume in there just to warm up a little bit more. So I'm going to do the 20 pounds now, which are here. And same kind of thing, doing the lateral raises. Really good for just getting the whole shoulder warmed up. One of the things when I am warming up, I kind of like to do the lateral raises. So I'm gonna do about 12 here. And then I like to kick it out about 45 degrees here. Same thing, about 12. What this is doing, it's really hitting the whole entire shoulder head. And then bring it close together, almost touching. And like I said, that really just kind of puts blood all up in the shoulders. You can already see that I'm like slightly already starting to get a good pump going. So now I'm gonna go ahead and move over to cables, where I'm gonna do just a couple little bit of flies, just to really stretch the chest and get some more blood flow going in there. Remember, with warm-ups, it's not about how much weight. We'll get to the heavy stuff here in a minute. So when I do these, I like to try to hit the whole chest. So I like to start at the bottom, do about 10 to 12 here. Make sure you are squeezing, because the squeezing is gonna help push the blood into the chest. And then continue on and just go ahead and go straight across. And then I like to step back just a little bit and come right across almost the face to kind of get that upper chest really going. So I'm gonna do one more set of those. That was only 30 pounds on the flies. It's not, like I said, it's not supposed to be heavy.
Someone from YouTube, they said, "You're truly an inspiration, bro. Thank you for your service. I'm a veteran myself, former Ranger. Tomorrow is chest day. I'm gonna kill it tomorrow like you will today." That's awesome. Ranger on, man, and thank you for your service as well. And I'll keep pushing if you keep pushing. And have fun with all those ruck marches that you be doing. I know you guys over there in Rangers be doing a lot of rucking. So one more time, guys. Like I said, really squeeze. Okay, so that's there. So I basically got the shoulders and the chest really warmed up now before I go to bench press. And like I said, I'm gonna hit real quick. I'm gonna do lats and triceps. I'm gonna do the superset to kind of speed this up a little bit for you guys. All right, you have a comment from Facebook. Harris says, "Please tell him his beard to face ratio is legendary."
He said, say that again?
Your beard to face ratio is legendary.
We stay beard strong around here. If the bigger, what I've noticed, the bigger my beard gets, the stronger I get. So I just continue to keep growing it out. So I'm gonna do triceps. When I do triceps, after I get done, I'll immediately just step back a little bit, and I'm gonna do hit the lats a little bit with some lat pull downs. So on the triceps, one thing that I like to do is when I'm doing these, so I'm gonna do basically about 45 reps right now. It's really light. What I like to do is I like to start with my elbows in, and after every 15, my elbows flare a little bit more and a little bit more. And what that's doing is hitting every head of the tricep that you have. So I'm really warming up the whole entire tricep, not just the inner head or the outer head. So if you watch, I'll have my elbows here, and by the time I'm done, I'm here hitting the outer head. Now turn the elbows a little bit more out. And then one last time. And that's the only warm up that I'm gonna do for the triceps. So now I'm gonna do one quick lat pull down with the ropes here, which are like the lat extensions basically. Stretch yourself real far out to where you get a real good stretch in your lats. And squeeze when you come to the hips. And that's pretty much my warm-up. So now I'm really, I got a pump going. I'm warmed up. I'm already got a good sweat going. And now I'll start on my bench pressing. And with my bench pressing, I do have warm-ups. I just don't jump up to, 200, 300, 400 pounds. So with my warm-ups, when I'm doing my warm-ups, I really like to start getting my form ready. Start really concentrating on my form at the lighter weight before I get to the heavier weight. So I do start with the bar. That's just getting the chest movement, getting the movement going, feeling it out. Especially being at a gym that I never trained at. I want to see how the bench feels and everything like that as well. So make sure when you guys are, going around traveling in different gyms, make sure you are filling out the equipment before you train. So with the bench press, I'm going to show you do 3 sets of 3. I'm going to try to see how much weight I can somewhat move today. But you'll understand if you have any questions on bench pressing, which a lot of the question that a lot of people get is the arch thing. I don't have like a really big arch. That's just due to the limitations of my body. So if you have questions about the arch, I can answer those for you. If you really want to know if it is bad or if it is good for you, I can answer that for you as well.
Question from YouTube. How long have you been lifting?
So I've actually been lifting now for a little under 4 years now, I believe. I started it back in 2014, so about three and a half years now. And then I've been powerlifting for 2 years. I started powerlifting, not really knowing that I was going to powerlift, and did my first meet back in January of this year. Oh, this guy.
Laurent from YouTube says, "Hi from France. I'm so proud to see veterans working so hard."
Oh, thank you very much. It's kind of in our blood to work hard, but thank you. And when I was deployed back in Iraq, I worked with some French soldiers, and pretty awesome. Jess Norris is in the house, guys. Just to let you guys know. Huh? Want to spot me with this weight? All right. Yeah, I'm going to work up to like 3 sets of 3 kind of a thing. Nothing crazy. How you been? Good, man. How you feeling? Like that? Huh? I feel like that too. I trained with Hani and Jeremy. You know what I trained? Chest. So on your warm-ups, it's really up to you on how many reps you want to do. I kind of just go by feel. The one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to especially if you're working with like triples and doubles and singles, you don't want to exhaust yourself prior to lifting the really heavy weight. So just make sure you're not doing that, like over warming up to where you're not able to perform like you want to perform. Let's do another plate, it's fine.
All right, you have a question from YouTube. What's your 1 rep max for bench press?
My 1 rep max is 455 now. It's 424 in comp though. As we get going with the weight increasing, the breaks between each set are going to get longer. With powerlifting, especially with the heavy weight, we need to be able to perform. So you need to take a good 3-minute break prior to your next repetitions that you're going to do to make sure that you are recovered and you are ready to hit the next weight. Let's do a plate. yeah, this would be my first like working set.
All right, question from Facebook. Do you prefer to fuel your body with carbs or fats?
Say it again.
Do you prefer to fuel your body with carbs or fats, and why?
I like carbs. I've done like the whole like trying the fats thing, and for me, I just see so much strength go away with the fats, and with the carbs, I feel fuller, I feel bigger, it gives me more energy. So I 100% am a carb lover over fats. But that's to each person. Each person's body can change and can function in different ways. So there are people that do just run off fats. For me, it's the carbs. So I strictly use carbs. My fat intake is actually very low. I try not to take in as many fats. I really don't like taking that many at all. But carbs, when I'm prepping for a meet, my carbs can range from 400 to 600 a day, you know, and then when I'm about 2 weeks out, depending on my weight, you know, it can get up to 800 grams of carbs a day. So I'll do my first one. Yeah. Huh? No. I've been trying to become like a bodybuilder lately. You know what's crazy is that my dumbbells and stuff have gotten stronger, and like, and this is like not as strong right now. But I've been training heavy dumbbells, heavy volume. You would think. You would think. That's what I'm telling you, I could not do well in this and then go there and smash heavy dumbbells. I don't know why. I don't know, I just have that muscle, I guess. You don't what? At all? Just stopped? Huh? So this will be my first working set. It's just gonna be a triple. The one thing I do like to do with my working sets is I do like to get the actual pause in there as if I was in a powerlifting meet. You see a lot of guys that are real fast, and that is fine. But since I do powerlift, I try to always, you know, maintain that pause in there, because that's a whole nother animal compared to just touch and goes. With the touch and go, you got a lot of momentum behind it. With this, the momentum completely stops. So working on these, you guys, if you are planning on doing a powerlifting meet or something like that, start training, you know, with the pause, because you will see very quickly how fast the weight you will actually go down as far as like the weight that you can do for a touch and go. With the touch and go, I can obviously do a lot more. But with the pause, you know, it's one of those things you kind of have to leave the ego at the door kind of a thing and get this in, because if you sit there and you say that your max is 425, but it's a touch and go, more than likely you're only sitting at about a 405 bench press, you know, in competition. So make sure you are practicing your pauses, just the standard powerlift pause, you know, which I could tell you at time, but it seems like they differ from each different competition, each different referee that you have. Some can be faster than others, but and then later on the next working sets, I'll show you guys my long pause reps that I do, and I'll explain to you why I do them. Okay. Yep. 1, 2, 3. Good. Okay. So that's my first working set. The way that I vary my working sets off are, I know a lot of people go by like protocols and programs, but like in my off season, I just kind of go off of how I feel. The one thing that I learned from a very smart man and kind of legend to the powerlifting is Ed Cohen, is go off how you feel. If there's a day that something feels really light, go a little bit heavier. The one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to be failing reps. Even in your off season, which there are times that we go in there and we feel like we're going to be able to get a little bit more, and we do attempt to do like, you know, a heavier 1 rep max than what we normally do. And you might fail those. You might, you know, you can get out of groove on a bench or something like that. Something that just form can get knocked off a little bit to where you don't get it. But the key thing to do is to not try to miss any reps. But at the same time, if I come in here and something's feeling really light and there's a possibility that I could get myself stronger, then why would I not want to do that? So when programmings are great for going into meets, but in the off season, I feel like that's where you can really try to push yourself and try to grow and gain a lot of strength. So in my off season, like I said, like the 315 felt okay. So that now I'll vary my weight that I'm going to go off of for my next set. And if you have somebody like, you know, Jess, he powerlifts, or one of your friends, they may see it moving faster than what it feels. A lot of times with powerlifting, the weight doesn't feel like it's moving very fast, but it's moving very fast. So have your spotter or your gym partner tell you like what he thinks that you should move up to, because it may be a lot more than what you thought you were gonna go up to. So like a lot of times when I'm in the gym, if you don't have a partner, I like to record myself. I'll record my deadlifts or something like that, and then I'll watch the video before I decide what my next weight's gonna be. Like I said, that could be because I'm having a great day and the weight's moving a lot faster than what it actually feels. So I'm able to increase the weight and get a little bit more out of the workout, which therefore benefiting me in my strength and things like that down the road. Probably, yeah, let's do 15, 25, 35, 40. Let's do 55, I don't even see 10s. Huh? No, let's do 3, what is it? No, not 65. Maybe my last one. Let's do like 3, 45, 350. So we need like 10s and 5s.
You have a question from Facebook. How come you use straps and not gloves?
Okay, so one, I don't use gloves because you can't in a powerlifting meet. And they're talking about straps. So here's the thing with straps is I really never use straps. Except last weekend I was in a gym, they had no chalk, no nothing. And the bar was an ollie bar, so it was rolling. So I actually decided to use straps for that one time. But if you use straps, whenever you pull that weight, there's a good chance you're not gonna be able to handle that weight in competition. So with deadlifting, which is what I'm assuming that you're asking, like why straps and not gloves, I don't prefer to use any, to be honest with you. You need to strengthen your grip. That's actually a big thing for a lot of powerlifters, is on deadlifts, you'll see that their grip will go. And that's just due to the fact that your grip strength's not strong. And so if you're using straps all the time and you finally go to decide, let's say 500 pounds, but you've never pulled 500 pounds just straight gripping it, more than likely you're not gonna be able to grip it. Your grip strength's not gonna be there to be able to pull the weight. And that'll like completely like demoralize you, because you know you can lift the weight, but you haven't conditioned yourself to be able to grip the weight and actually hold it. So when you go to a competition, you actually get ready to go do a lift that you've actually done so many times in the gym, you know you're not able to pull it. And that's because you use straps the whole time. I don't use gloves ever at all, not in any type of training at all. So, and I don't use straps. So if you can, use chalk, work on your grip strength. Always pull just raw hands. Like I said, if you are gonna use straps, I mean, if you're gonna try to do like an AMRAP of some sort with deadlifts, which is you're trying to do as many reps as possible, that's fine because your grip's gonna obviously go. And the key with that AMRAP is to get as many reps as you can deadlifting. So therefore, if straps will help you, I don't see that hurting you with that kind of exercising. But as far as like getting your actually working sets in, I don't think you should use straps. And some of the best powerlifters that I do know, I see them use straps, and then when they go to comp, what they pulled on social media or Instagram, they can't pull in comp because their hands give. So try not to use straps or gloves if you can't, if you don't have to. You agree, Jess? I agree. I used them last week in Florida. They had no chalk, no nothing, and I just couldn't, the bar was sliding. It's the only time. Yeah, and the thing is, it's like, and the thing is with the straps is, if you happen to do straps like I did last weekend, it wasn't a weight that I've never gripped before. It was a weight that I've gripped many, many times, and I have no problem with lifting. So, like I said, if you have to use straps, you know, use it at a gym if they don't have the chalk or something like that, so you actually can get the deadlifts in, actually get the work in. I'm gonna put my belt on for this one.
All right, question from YouTube. I'm a combat veteran Marines from 2003 to 2007, and I just got back into working out last year. Do you think deadlifting and squats help your bench press increase? Thanks for your service and motivation, Nicholas Bartlett.
Absolutely. Let me tell you, the thing is squats will help everything increase. Everything. I mean, it releases so much like free testosterone and stuff into your body. The deadlifts are gonna build a bigger back, which with a bigger back comes a bigger bench. So absolutely, squats and deadlifts, if you're trying to build your bench up, you gotta be doing them. Plus, it's just one of the other power movements that you should be doing anyway, especially if you are trying to like have like a max bench. You know, why would you wanna have, you know, there's a lot of guys you'll see, they'll have an amazing bench, but a terrible deadlift or a terrible squat. And to me, I just don't get that. So if you are trying to build a bigger bench, then you should try to work on the other two, you know, pillars that'll help you become a stronger person, period. Especially with deadlifts. Deadlifts is a pure strength movement. It's you fighting gravity coming up, and like I said, you know, it will help with everything. And then the squats give you a good platform. And with bench, okay, so squats. On bench press, what is one thing that you have to use on bench press? Leg drive. Well, that's what you need. That's what you do when you squat. You know, you use your legs. So therefore, if you can have powerful legs, it's going to help press the bench. So yes, it's 100%. Both those lifts will actually help this increase. All right. These bars are weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Good. So that's my second working set, and we'll move up one more. I'll do one more for you guys, and then I'll go into the pause reps.
David from Facebook asks, what exercises do you recommend to improve grip strength?
Just gripping the bar and doing it all the time. I mean, you can go out there and you can get all the cool little, you know, forearm things. And a lot of people ask me, like, how do I have such good grip strength? How are my forearms so big? It's just from gripping the bar all the time. It'll come. The more you're deadlifting, and over time it's going to come. I mean, there are little tricks that you can do. Like when I was in the military and I was overseas, we would poke holes in tennis balls, and we'd poke, and then we would just squeeze those, and that was working on the forearms. You can get a stick and tie a rope with a little T thing at the bottom and put a plate through it and just spinning the rope all the way up and then controlling it going back down. That's going to help. You can slide a bar underneath like a bench press, sit up and just do rolls with it underneath. But honestly, I don't really target my forearms a lot because I'm doing it every time I lift every day. I'm squeezing the weight. I can do a full arm workout and my forearms are shot out by the time that I'm done. So just continue working out. Just continue squeezing the bars, especially with deadlifting. Just continue doing it and the grip strength will come for sure. Oh, man.
All right, why do you wear a belt when benching?
So with the belt for me, it's giving me something to press against. So when I'm pushing my core, it's giving me that to push against. There are times that I will deadlift without a belt to build up my core. I will bench press without a belt. But once I start getting up into the heavier weight, I put the belt on. And the key thing with the belt is that's something that I compete with, so I want to train with it so that I'm used to it. There are people that do bench press without a belt. But I have really found that putting a belt on when you bench press or anything like that really helps, where I can go from, you know, a 405-pound bench to a 415-pound bench. Like, it could make that difference for me. And that's because as I'm pushing, my core and everything is pushing against that belt. And for me, the belt really keeps my whole body a little bit tighter as well. I feel like I'm just more like, you know, in the groove of everything. I'm real tight and real, like, my form's real good. So with the belt, I do use it when I get up to my heavier sets, but don't be scared to throw in like beltless workouts, beltless deadlifts, beltless bench presses, even beltless squats at a certain weight. Anytime you can do that to where you're actually getting to flex your core and actually lift is always a good thing for sure.
Jay from YouTube says, I'm currently maxed out at mid 200s for bench press. What would you recommend to increase my bench press to 3-plate range?
Okay, so one thing you want to do is you want to look at where you're failing at on the bench press. Okay, so if you're failing at the bottom, it's obviously that it's just too much weight for you at the time. So, but if you're coming up a little bit, if you're, let's say that I'm failing right here. Well, one, that's going to be triceps, or my triceps are weak, because from here to here is a lot of triceps, so those are weak. So maybe start working in board presses to where that's where you come. So now I'm targeting that weak point, hitting that board where I'm actually struggling and failing at. Also, you know, if you're not training your lats and your back, then you're really adhering from having a bigger bench press. So that could be some things that you can work on. Don't be scared to go from wide grip and start working close grip. Like I said, if you're failing here, it's your triceps. Well, at the top here, this is when your triceps are really engaging and really pushing a lot of the weight. So work on your close grip bench presses as well to help build stronger. I mean, you can sit there and hit triceps in other ways, but when you're doing close grip bench press, you're really strength training your triceps. So that's one thing that I would work on. If you got bands and things like that or chains at your gym, start adding those. Bands are real good for speed work. And then with chains, what that's doing is when you come down to the bottom and as you come up, a lot of the weight is actually coming. So you're increasing the weight as you go to the top. That right there might help you jump to that 300-pound range that you're wanting. But with bench press, guys, even if you get a 10 pounds more on your max, that's huge in bench pressing. With bench pressing, the small jumps are huge jumps compared to like squat and deadlift, where you will see big jumps, you know, 20, 30, 40-pound jumps. But with bench pressing, it's a time thing. It just takes a lot of time and a lot of work. And like I said, if you can increase your bench press by 10 pounds in 8 to 12 weeks, that's huge. That's great. And so that means you're on the right track, and those are really big jumps. So make sure if you do see that, whatever you're doing is right. But like I said, video yourself, see where you're struggling at, and figure out what body part that probably is that's adhering you from being able to go ahead and finish that repetition out or that heavy weight out. One more.
Any tips to strengthen my core? Willie from YouTube.
So like I said, start working on beltless pulls, beltless squats. Don't be scared to do planks. You know, I know that stuff seems like it'd be like some yoga stuff, but planks will wreck you. So do all that stuff, doing your ab workouts, doing things like that. And I can attest to that because I used to kind of like really detour from doing my abs and stuff like that. And then I noticed that when I started hitting my core, my lifts started jumping a lot more and a lot faster because your core is a huge part into not just powerlifting, but lifting, period. What is this? I don't know. Taking my numbers or what?
I guess. I remember you saying.
I don't remember. What was the last one? 345? That should be fine. So on bench press, guys, when you're getting in here, make sure you're good and tight underneath the bar. Set yourself up real good. Really pinch the traps into the bench. Really have your, squeeze your lats, have all that. One thing that I like to do is I really over-exaggerate squeezing the bar, because if my hands are here, my muscles aren't tight. Immediately, as soon as I squeeze my hands real tight, my lats flare out, they get real tight. So make sure you hear people squeeze the bar, squeeze the bar. That's what they're talking about, squeeze the bar so that everything can tighten up. And when as your spotter brings it out, you want to make sure that you're staying tight the whole time and allow him to pull it out and stay tight. And then through your motions, you're wanting to stay tight the whole entire time. Everything is engaged and everything's going in the movement. So especially when you're doing your repetitions, a lot of people will get, even the best powerlifters will get out of groove. One side will get loose or something like that, and you will actually see and feel it. Like you will more likely fail on one side, especially with bench press, something like this. If you see guys like going like this, it's because they're getting loose on this side and they're really tight on this side. Or their leg drive is a little bit off or something like that. So when you're doing your sets, squeeze the bar. Even if the lighter sets, get yourself in there and get used to feeling what it feels like to have everything flexed and everything tight when you're pressing. One, two, three. Good. That's good. So that's my last working set on that. I even hit the little knob a little bit, but that's all right. For example, like that. I hit the little knob. Main thing is to get reset at the top, get yourself back tight again, and then continue to finish the workout that you were doing. That's simple. Like I said, just hit it at the top, and all I had to do was just reset myself a little bit, real squeeze, real tight, and then I was back into my form and back into the groove. So that's my working sets for you guys. Just 3 sets of 3. That's more of like a strength training thing. I'm going to go ahead and go into my pause presses for you guys here in a second. And I'm going to just kind of explain these to you guys and my theory behind like why I do these. It doesn't have to be crazy weight, because you will be holding these reps for a long time, which I'm not gonna tell you until we start doing it. So it's something that a lot of people aren't doing, and then I tell them, especially guys at my gym that I train with, they see me doing all the time and they wonder why, and then they try it for the first time and they see how hard it is. So we'll get this set up and then I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So I'm doing like 7 to 10 second pause reps to help like basically like teach a leg drive kind of a thing. So let's just do 225. Start it out like that. I'll increase it, as we go. Mostly just want to explain it, kind of a thing. Yeah.
All right, you have a question from YouTube. When should someone consider entering a powerlifting meet?
Say that again.
When should someone consider entering a powerlifting meet?
Anytime you're ready. Honestly, the platform's there. Set yourself up though. So don't just one day, like I've had a guy do it to me. Just one day I'm programming, he's like, just texts me and said, oh, I just did a powerlifting meet. Don't do that. Program yourself out, figure out a program, run it. I like about 12-week programs. That's me. I think that's a good time to gain some strength, peak out just right, and do a meet. So with powerlifting meet, that platform's always there. There's no reason why you shouldn't go jump on it, because once you do it, I guarantee you're gonna become addicted to the platform, but you just now set a goal. You have your 3 lift goals now, and now you're gonna be addicted, and your next comp, your whole goal is to beat those numbers. So what that will do is doing that will give you a really good platform to basically start out at. So anytime you're ready, I think you should go ahead and step on the platform. But like I said, set yourself up for success. Just don't show up one day and do it. There are guys that do that, but a lot of them have been doing this for a long time, so it's for fun for them. But go ahead and just do it. Just set yourself up, 12-week program, get on it, find a program that you like, that works for you, and then go do it.
What drew you to powerlifting instead of traditional bodybuilding?
We were just talking about this on the podcast today. So I did start out like bodybuilding, that's kind of how I started out. And I think that you have to have a very good bodybuilding platform. All the bodybuilding workouts will help your big lifts, your 3 big lifts. But with powerlifting for me I went to nationals in Las Vegas. I watched my very first powerlifting meet. I became addicted to just the adrenaline and how much fire and pump and camaraderie that the powerlifting industry has. And so it kind of drew me in. And then for me, it was me getting online and seeing that there's really no amputees out there competing against able-bodied athletes in powerlifting. I searched everywhere. There were some that had like low numbers, or they kind of got like, I don't want to say a handicap, but they got a little bit of some type of assistance where they could use a strap because they were missing a hand or something like that. And with me, I didn't want nothing. I wanted to be treated normal, and I wanted to be, like I said, compete against guys at that level. And so for me to get into it was because there was not any amputees really doing it at a very serious weight level. So that's, for me, it was powerlifting right out the gate. And now I've set that bar, and now what's going on? Now there's amputees out there that are chasing my numbers down that I did back in January. And so now powerlifting is just kind of like setting off as far as like a whole, but now a lot of amputees saw me do it, so now they're like, well, man, if he can do it, then I can do it. And that's the whole scheme of it. I do plan on doing a bodybuilding thing spring next year sometime, just because I love bodybuilding, I love powerlifting, but it's just another thing for me to show people that like I can still do whatever everybody else does and compete at a good level.
Can you share your story on how you lost your leg?
Yes, it's very simple. I was swimming in the ocean and the shark, no, I'm just kidding. But I was in Afghanistan in 2010. I was out on a night patrol, and a pressure plate IED, which is like a ground bomb, detonated beneath my vehicle. And yeah, I got pulled out of that vehicle. I still had my leg at the time, but it was really mangled up pretty bad. And so after about 7-8 months after I got blown up, I was in Washington, D.C. going through, at the hospital. And in November of 2010, I decided to go ahead and had it amputated. And that's kind of how I lost my leg, was on deployment in Afghanistan.
A comment from YouTube. I'm a combat veteran Marine. I am also an amputee above knee. Where there's a will, there is a way. No excuses. Get some, brother. Forrest.
That's it. No excuses, man. We're setting the bar for everybody, brother. we're trying to, that's the whole goal, is we're trying to push people. If they see us doing it, it makes them feel terrible that they can't do it or they're not doing it. So when they're sitting there eating their bag of Doritos on the couch and we're out there working, we just motivated them to get out there and start working. So much love to you, man. One thing I want to talk to you guys about with with wrist wraps is make sure you guys are wearing these when you're training, especially bench press. I've seen elite powerlifters, Steve Gentili, you saw that one. He didn't have wrist wraps on and lost the bar. The ribs gave out and he lost the bar and it crushed him, and it could have hurt him really, really bad. Thank God he's built like a monster. He's just huge, and he was able to handle the weight that came on top of him. But make sure you guys are, you know, wearing your wraps. This will help keep your wrists from giving out when you're bench pressing. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the pause rep thing that I was telling you guys about, and I'm gonna explain to you guys why I do it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do my first one for you guys, and then after I get done doing that one and you guys kind of see what I'm doing, I'll explain to you why I do it, my theory behind it, I guess you could say. And if you guys have questions about it, I'll answer those as well. So just on this one, do like 7 to 10, if you want to count it in your head. Once it's on, and then just tell me up and I'll go up. Do you do these long pauses like that? Sometimes. So the key thing on this is, because I will be having the bar on me for a long time, is you have to breathe, but at the same time, while you're breathing, you have to make sure you're staying tight the whole time. Because if you get loose down this, you're not gonna be able to get the weight up. Because you will, at the bottom, is basically like a relaxed positioning for the muscles. So you wanna make sure you're down here and you're squeezing real tight and holding the bar real good. That way, like I said, as I'm moving up, everything is still in form and everything's still tight, and I'm able to continue to push the weight, because there will be times where we will get real heavy on this, and it does have its benefits as well. So make sure at the bottom, you guys are breathing, because if you're not putting oxygen to your muscles, your muscles are gonna say, see you later, and they're gonna start giving out. So oxygen is key for your muscles to continue to perform. No, I'm good on this. All right, so that was a lighter one just to kind of show you guys what I'm doing there. So basically with these pause reps, that was how many seconds? About 7-second pause rep. One thing that I do get a lot from people is, how do they get leg drive in bench pressing? Well, I feel like you doing these will help build leg drive. And my theory behind this is because your body and mind are an amazing thing. And let's say that a car lands on top of me and a car's sitting there. What is your mind gonna start to do? It's gonna start trying to do everything it can to get that car off yourself. So you're gonna be sitting there using every piece of your body to try to get a car off of you. So I've kind of used that with myself with bench pressing and the leg drive thing. So if I'm down and I have this amount of weight sitting on top of my body, there is nothing that I can do to control my mind to realize like, oh, this is lightweight, I've done 225, I could do 225 for 15 reps. What happens is your mind starts to say, why is there 225 pounds sitting on top of me? And why is it on top of me for this long? So therefore, when you start fatiguing and you start feeling it, what are you gonna do? You're gonna use everything you can to push that weight off of you as fast as you can. So therefore, doing what? Causing leg drive. And what will happen is you'll actually feel it for the first time. You're like, that's leg drive. And then you finally just felt it. And so not just that, it also starts exhausting the chest. So now you're moving heavy weight, because when you're at the bottom there, the chest is, you know, holding everything. So when you go to press it, it's gonna start to fatigue, and the more sets and the more reps I do, the more fatigue it's gonna get. Therefore, I am now strength training through fatigue, therefore giving me a lot more strength for the day my meet comes and I'm fully healthy and recovered. So if you guys are struggling with leg drive or anything like that, try this. You know, start out light, make sure you have somebody around you, because you know you've never done it before and you don't wanna put that weight on you and then not be able to get it off you, but you'll feel it. Stay tight at the bottom, stay breathing, have your partner count 7 to 10 seconds, and I promise when you go to push, like I said, your mind is gonna tell your body, okay, it's time to get all this weight off of me. And then you're gonna drive everything you can to get that weight off of you. And then, like I said, your leg drive's you're gonna feel it. And that's the key with a lot of things is once you feel it, now you understand it. And so like now I can take all this off, start doing the bar, and my leg drive is just going because the muscle's already fired off on that motion. So try it. I'm gonna do a couple more for you guys. If you guys have any questions about it or setup or anything like that, I can answer those for you guys too. Let's do 275. Yeah. When are you competing again?
Next year.
Yeah?
Yeah, I
It's fun.
So, I'm not going to get surgery.
No, I know.
All right, OneMax14 from YouTube says, Casey, thank you for being so inspirational and a great role model. Thank you for your service, brother.
Thank you, appreciate it. Oh, huh? So same thing here. I'm still increasing the weight, but I'm keeping the seconds still in there. I'm not using a belt because I'm wanting to really work on my core here as well. My core staying tight. I'm really squeezing my abdomen real tight at the bottom. So make sure, you know, if you want, you can use a belt. It's fine. But like I said, how do I work on my core? These are some of the things that I do is I just take the belt off sometimes and I just don't use it. I'm good on this one.
Up.
So as you can see, I don't know if you can see in the video, as I'm holding it, my body starts to shake. That's the mind saying, okay, what's going on here? I just increased it 50 pounds. Now I got 275 pounds on me. And what's going on? And like I said, I've benched over 400. So having only 275 pounds on top of me, the mind starts to put it out there. Okay, it's time to get this weight off me. And you start shaking because my muscles are getting fatigued and my body does not want 275 pounds sitting on it. It's not used to it. So, especially for a long period of time like that. So, and then as you can see, as I go to drive, everything engages and that weight moves really, really fast off me. That's because I'm getting everything engaged and all the power is coming from my legs up and through it out the bar. So I'm gonna do one more for you guys, maybe two more, we'll see. We'll do 315. That should be a real good one.
Do you hold your breath during the pause?
No, so I explained that in the beginning. You don't wanna hold your breath at the pause because I need oxygen flow to fuel my muscles. If I don't have oxygen going to my muscles are gonna give out. So oxygen is key. So when I'm down there, I'm really mostly breathing through my nose, in and out through my nose. I kind of try to keep it steady. I don't try to like get my oxygen like ramped up. I try to stay under control, breathing normal, big breaths out, but mostly through my nose mostly. This one will be a good one. That's 7.
That last one's 8.
That's fine. That's 7 or 10. That's fine. You can change it up whatever you want. I'm not counting. You can give me a lift off on this one. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Up.
So there you go. That's the pauses. Should I do one more, Jess? All right, I'll do one more. I'll increase the weight one more time for you guys. And then we'll get over to the next exercise, which is going to be a fun one too. So like 325 should be fine.
That should be good.
Yeah.
All right, Brock from Facebook asks, what is your favorite way to change your workout up when you're dealing with a plateau?
Changing it up, if that's what you want to do. I mean, so for me, if my bench press is kind of plateauing out, the one thing I try to do is I will really go work on my accessories. I feel like those are a really big building platform to increasing something like this. So what I'll do is I'll start going and I'll start lifting like heavier dumbbell incline, things like that. I'll change my bench press workout. You know, maybe I need to go into like hypertrophy training, more high volume, or something like that. Start adding chains, start adding bands, because we do hit those platforms, and you got to figure out. Like I said, if you are hitting a 1 rep max and you're failing, where are you failing at? Therefore, you're seeing a weak point in your arsenal. So you gotta go and you gotta attack that weak point. And so, like I said, if my weak point is at the top or something like that, I know that I need to go and start hitting my triceps a little bit more to get past that plateau on the bench that I'm stuck at. So accessory work, you guys, I'm telling you, is huge. Don't go in there and just bench press. Go in there and get your accessory works in and really hit it just as hard. I have this thing to where like if I'm over here hitting these reps and I'm trying to max out over here, why am I not trying to max out on my accessory work? You know, I don't just every week go in there and hit 50-pound dumbbell inclines. No, I want to see my dumbbell weight increasing as I go. As this gets stronger, that should be getting stronger. So make sure that you guys are doing that, and that's going to help you. But the thing is with powerlifting and weightlifting is we all hit plateaus. We all get stuck. Everybody does. You know, there's always that one number we're chasing. There's always that one number we can't get past, you know. So just you got to find out where the weak point is. Powerlifting is a very tactical type of thing. It's you got to really figure it out, and you got to figure out what can benefit you. Like what can benefit me might not benefit him, but what benefits him might not benefit me. So, you know, maybe me doing board presses helps me a lot, but Jess, it doesn't help him a lot. You know, he might do something completely different than what I do. He might go close grip, you know, bench press instead of the board presses to help that weak point. He may have just really strong triceps, but it's just not very strong at the top, and he's got to figure out why that is for him. But what you do is you just start targeting those things, and then all of a sudden when you see that plateau, you get past that plateau, you just figured out what your weak point is. Therefore, don't stop there. Keep working on it, because that weak point can go away very, very quick that you just gained, and now you got to start all over again. This one's gonna be a fun one. Huh? Yeah. So I'll do this last one. We increase the weight to 325. For those of you guys not in America, I don't know kilos, so sorry. Same thing though, just holding it, staying tight. And you should see, I can tell you right now, the 315 I was shaking, the 275 I was shaking, 325 I'm probably gonna be shaking. And if I struggle, that's great. That's great if I'm struggling. You know, that's kind of what you want with these, is fatigue and struggling with these right here. I have a spotter, so it's not a big deal to be pushing it a little bit harder like that. All right. Come on. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Up. Easy. There we go. So there you guys go. As you can see, the first thing that comes to my mind is get this weight off me, and where's all my power in my body? It's in my legs. So immediately you see that I just launch with my legs to help press that weight off me. And that's leg drive. And that's what you guys are gonna start feeling with this exercise. So like that's a big thing that I use when people ask me, what is leg drive? How do I build better leg drive? Where do I get the leg drive from? Try this exercise right here. And like I said, once you feel it, I mean, you're probably gonna do it your first time, and you're gonna feel it, and your eyes are gonna light up, and you're gonna now that you have felt it, you're gonna be using it all the time when you bench press. Remember, with bench pressing, leg drive is huge in building a huge bench press. Without leg drive, your bench press isn't gonna be able to go up very much. So that's it for that. I'm gonna move over to incline dumbbells. This is where I start doing like my bodybuilding training, and I start really kind of getting after it. The intensity goes up a little bit because with powerlifting, I need to get the heavy weights in. I do lift heavy over here, but I lift volume as well. So with the volume training, my goal is to keep the pump and keep slamming blood into my muscles and fatiguing the muscles the best that I can. So I'm gonna get ready for that. If you guys have any questions while I'm getting ready, I'll answer it about the bench press. Thanks, Jess.
All right, you have a question from Twitch. What kind of food would you eat to fuel this type of workout, and how long before the workout?
So I got into a conversation with a bodybuilder not too long ago. One of my things that I like to eat, I was eating it earlier when they picked me up, was I like to eat Greek yogurt. It's got no fats, a lot of carbs, and it does have sugars in it. And I know everybody with sugars, I got it, but those are good sugars that I'm gonna use to fuel this workout. So I would say about 2 hours out, I like chicken. I'm a big chicken guy. I like steak. So I do eat a lot of chicken, and I will have like a high carb, most likely jasmine rice, because it does break down faster. So I will have, you know, about a cup of rice, 7 ounces of chicken. I do like steak, but I don't like steak too much prior to me working out because it takes a long time for steak to break down. So I'm really not getting any benefit from it when I'm, you know, lifting. the one thing you're gonna get a lot of benefit from when it comes to lifting that day and that shorter period is the carbs. Like I said, I try to have a good carb increase, and then about an hour out, I'll eat about 2 or 3 of the little Chobani yogurt packs. And then I come in here and I feel real good. I got good carbs, I got good sugar that's in me. That's gonna help with all this. So try that out. I did talk to somebody about this who's a bodybuilder, and he says if he could eat yogurt, that's what he would eat as well prior to working out. So that's what I eat.
All right, question from YouTube. Why do I get shoulder pain when I do barbell bench, but not when I do dumbbell bench?
That's a good one. So with dumbbell bench, you're able to kind of set yourself up wherever you want. So you're able to, if you know like here hurts, then you're probably not going to go. You're going to go a little bit out here. And with barbell, the thing is you're so deep, you're so back into the bench press that you're probably getting the shoulder pain at the bottom. And with dumbbells, you really don't you're not fully stretched out like that as you are with the bench press. So try just getting some shoulder movements in, get the bands prior to warming, and warm your shoulder up real good. Maybe that'll help out. Shoulder pain though, honestly with bench press is just one of the demons that we have to deal with every once in a while in bench pressing. Shoulder and elbow pain, it just comes with the territory. But just make sure you're properly warming up. And if it's still hurting you, go try see like a deep tissue massage therapist or a chiropractor. More than likely they can figure it out, especially if nothing's torn, then you just have a little niche that's going on in your shoulder that's really bugging you. We all get them. I have one on my hip right now that I've been dealing with for months that I'm trying to deal with as well. So we all have them. But like I said, with barbell, it's because you're so deep and it's just straight across. So, I mean, the shoulders really come into play. And with dumbbells, you can kind of move it around. You're probably not going as deep into the dumbbell press.
Justin from Facebook asks, how do you prevent rotating your shoulders inward when training your chest heavily?
I feel like having big rear delts is going to help from your shoulders rolling forward. So make sure you are hitting your rear delts. There are all these contraptions that you can wear that help learn to pull your shoulders back. A good chiropractor can help you to get you to rotate back, but all it is more than likely you have big front delts and you're hunching yourself over. So start working on your rear delt. That way it helps pull your delts back a little bit and your shoulders back a little bit. And then good stretching. Stretching is going to help from your shoulders going forward as well.
Awesome. Question from YouTube. I'm a 48-year-old female. I want to start lifting. Do you have any suggestions for me? Thank you for your service.
Absolutely. If you're just going to start lifting, I talked about this earlier today, just go in there and do not destroy yourself the first few times that you're in there. The one thing you don't want to do is go in there and destroy yourself to where you can't or you don't feel like going the next day. It's just a 3-week thing that you need to get through. The first 3 weeks are going to be your roughest weeks, but I promise after the first 3 weeks, you're going to already start seeing changes with yourself as far as the way you lift, the way things start to feel. The soreness is going to start to go away. So just start out easy, get yourself into it, get comfortable in the gym, learn the basics, learn form, because that's all going to help as you start training and you start getting into the heavier weights or you start training in more volume and things like that. So just stay dedicated and build a structure. Lay it out on a paper or whatever that you're going to go in there and today I'm going to do this. So that way when you approach the gym, you go into the gym, you have a plan, you have a game plan. You're not just kind of wandering around in the gym in like a fishbowl, So structure and planning.
Do you do off-season, on-season, cut and gain weight? Does it work for you?
I absolutely do. With me, when my off-season in powerlifting, I try to trim back down. When I'm getting closer to a meet, depending on my weight that I am, I'm trying to bulk up as much as I can. The one thing that I don't do is I don't sit here and say that I'm going to lift at 220 pounds. I'm going to lift at whatever I feel like I can perform at. If I'm having to do a 20-pound cut, me personally, I don't feel like I can perform that good as if I was to train and compete at 242. So therefore, I'll push myself as much as I can up to that weight or a little bit past it. Then therefore I'll just do a little cut at the end and by the next day I'm back up to 255 or 260 or whatever it is that I'm at. But in the off season, I like to try to stay healthy. I try to trim down. So in the off season, I up my cardio, I change my diet completely around, and my training is completely different as well. In the off season, the powerlifters, we like to do a hypertrophy training, which Jess actually does hypertrophy training his whole entire programming. It's high volume and decent weight. But me, I like to really, like I said, get into more of the high volume stuff here, but I really hit my bodybuilding side a lot on my off-season time. Good? All right. All right, so. No, I should be good. You can stay, if just in case. I know.
If you don't need
all right, man, I'm good. I should be all right.
All right.
All right, man, thank you. So I'm gonna do the incline dumbbell presses now. Same thing, I'm gonna warm up on here a little bit, not as much as a warm up as I was doing coming all the way up to this. So I'm gonna warm up a little bit, then I'm gonna hit my working sets. Like I said, I will be hitting some heavy dumbbells, but they will be volume as well. So, you know, I'll be getting into that 8 to 12, depending on how I feel, maybe even 15 rep scheme. I'm gonna fatigue myself pretty good, and then right after this workout, on the same machine, I'm gonna do a 100-pound AMRAP for you guys, which is, I'm gonna get the 100-pound dumbbells and I'm gonna do as many reps as possible as I can for you guys. And that'll be the end of my dumbbell workout, and then I'll go over to cable. So I'm gonna go ahead and warm up. Warming up, guys, don't start too light, because especially if you have already been doing everything I've done, because you're already warmed up. I'm already sweating. I already have a good pump kind of going. Everything feels real good. So do just a couple warm-up sets and then jump straight into your working sets. So same thing with warm-up, guys. It's all based on how you feel, what feels good to you. So as far as weight and rep scheme. So I'll do one more warm-up set and then we'll start the working sets. All right. Any questions or anything?
Nick wants to know if your beard is sweating from this workout.
Yes, underneath it is. Eventually I'll have like this whole sweat part right here. I think it's already there. It is there. That's from the beard sitting on it. Sweating. So when I'm sweating down here, I mean my beard's gonna be down here. It's gonna be epic. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do my first working set. I'm gonna do the 100-pound dumbbells. I'll probably do them 8 to 12, depending on how it feels, how it moves. After that, probably jump to like 115s, and then we'll see what we can do after that. I like to do about 1 minute breaks, minute 30 breaks in between each of these. As I get heavier though, I like to take a little bit longer breaks, because I am getting to the heavyweight. My goal is to move the heavyweight for those reps. And so as the weight increases, like I said, my breaks will get a little bit longer. So we'll go ahead and do my first working set for you guys. So if you guys notice on my last two, I kind of pause them a little bit. I like doing that. It just fatigues the muscle a little bit. Anytime you can stop momentum and you're able to press it out, you're automatically building some strength right there, especially when your muscles are already fatigued. So on your last two reps, you know, try pausing them for a slight second and then pressing.
All right, Joshua from YouTube said, Hey, Mr. Mitchell, my question is, what motivates you to keep pushing forward?
Well, one that I shouldn't even be alive, to be honest with you. When I got hit, there was no reason I should have lived through that, me or my squad. So I'm here, I'm living. You know, just overcoming all these obstacles that I've come over motivates me every day. You know, this is literally something that, you know, I wake up thinking about and I go to bed thinking about. All the crazy amount of emails, direct messages, comments that I get from people about how I'm motivating and changing their lives. I feel like that's just what I'm here to do now. You know, I was a leader in the military, and I feel like that's where I should still be doing, trying to lead people in the right direction and trying to help people. So that's what motivates me is to keep pushing, motivate you all. And like I said, I shouldn't even be here, and I'm here. So why not like just push the limits a little bit, you know?
McCormick from Twitch says, do you ever go beyond failure? Absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm about to do 100 here in a minute. I'll do 100 rep AMRAP for you guys, which is I will be failing. You know, get to a point, it is just basically as many reps as I can do. I like training past failure. I think it's all depending on what you're working out, what you're doing, what your goal is. But fatiguing the muscles like that, absolutely. Do I say do it often? I don't. I know the whole overtraining thing. I've heard it. I've done it. But you got to be able to recover. And if you're not able, if you work out like that, and you're not getting the nutrients in and things like that, you're actually not going to be able to recover, and you're actually going to start breaking down your muscles to where they can't recover. One, your strength will start to go down, and two, your size will actually start to go down as well. So training past failure, absolutely. How often you should do it, that depends on you as well. I'll train past failure maybe 1 to 2 times a month. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do my second working set. We're gonna jump up to 115. Same scheme, 8 to 12 reps, all depending on how I feel. This bench is high. It's a high bench. You guys, I don't have a lot of drive off this left toe here, so it's a little bit hard to get the weight up like that, but we'll figure it out right now. And I trained with Hani and Jeremy a few days ago, so I am just beat. We did chest. All right. All right.
All right, Patrick from Facebook wants to know, why don't you bring the dumbbells together at the top?
So with this bodybuilding, the whole time I'm really just staying contracted. When I do the lighter weight, which I did last week with Jeremy and them, we are bringing them together and squeezing. But for me right now, is I'm trying to get as many like the reps in with heavy weight. So for me, it's movement of heavy weight right now. And you know, it's just a different style of hitting the chest. You know, today my goal is strength training. So heavy dumbbells. And if you want, I can pinch them together. Absolutely. It's just sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It's all depending on the style of working out that I'm doing.
How many days a week do you lift?
5. I lift 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, and then I take Saturday, Sunday off. I do twice a day on those 5 days. I do cardio in the morning, and then I do fasted cardio every morning, and then the evening times when I go back and train. But those recovery days are just as important as the lifting days. You got to take days off. I was that guy that didn't take days off, and I wasn't growing very well, and that's because I can't recover as fast.
Question from YouTube from Andrew. Hey Casey, can you describe your rehab and how long it took you to exercise with your prosthetic?
So it's a little different for me because I got my prosthetic back in November 2010, but I had probably over 20 something more surgeries that I would go through over the next couple years of my recovery. It took me 3 years to recover from my blast that I got hit by in Afghanistan, where I basically went to a hospital every single day for 3 years. So 3 years, and then I just started training, like I said, about 4 years ago. The key is with my prosthetic is it took time to get used to having all the weight and pressure that I'm holding or I'm carrying around or doing whatever inside my socket. There have been many times where I have split the stitch line open on my like residual limb due to so much pressure inside that socket. And they both came when I was squatting, to where the stitch line just completely busts wide open. You know, and I'm just slowly built like scarring up there. The skin's gotten a lot tougher. But it's just like anybody and everybody. If you're training and you're new, but you're perfectly healthy, it's just taking every step every day to, like, you know, get stronger and different things like that. So it's taken me 7 years to get to where I'm at.
What kind of shoes are you wearing?
Rider wear shoes. For me, shoes is a huge deal, not as far as looks. It's about comfort for me. Just the way something feels for me, especially because my right leg's been blown out real bad. I'm on a prosthetic. So certain shoes, and these have been the shoes that I feel like I'm the closest to as barefoot as I can get. I use these shoes for lifting, period. I use them really for deadlifting. For squats, I use platform shoes, the squat shoes, but rider wear shoes, like I said, they've been the best ones for like making me feel like I'm almost barefoot on the ground.
Cool.
Good. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do my last working set for you guys on this one. I'll do the 125s, and then I'll take like a small break, and then I'll do the 100 reps or 100-pound dumbbells for as many reps as I can do for you guys. So, which is going to be the finisher. And on the 100-pound dumbbells, when I do the AMRAP, guys, it's an AMRAP. It's as many reps as you can do, constant tension. So the reps, the form is going to look different. It's not going to be like this. It's really just pumping as fast as you can, as hard as you can, and continuing the motion as you can. And so don't get into that whole like form on this. It's not about really like form. I'm not saying have like horrible form, but as far as the range of motion, I'm not saying do these, you know, but you don't have to come to a full lockout at the top. My goal is to keep the muscle like tight and ready to go the whole entire time. Slamming blood as much as I can into there. And that's another reason why right now I'm not really squeezing the heavy weight at the top. I'm keeping constant tension on the chest. Bench. There's a couple of pinches for you. On the last one, just kind of controlled it coming down a little bit, just to fatigue the muscle a little bit more. Anytime you can make anything that's a little bit harder, that's a good thing. So on the last one, I know it's my last working set. I'm gonna go ahead and just slowly bring it down. So, yeah, this is rough to carry around. So I used to not even be able to carry 20-pound dumbbells around the gym very well 4 years ago. You know, that was one of the things that I noticed with training and working out and staying on top of everything. Carrying around weight around the gym has gotten better. Therefore, when I walk without weight, if I wear a pair of jeans, people don't even know I'm an amputee sometimes.
What do you do for cardio?
So right now I've been doing a lot of swimming and stationary bike. Running is real hard for me because in my injury, I blew out my whole knee. So I'm bone on my knee and completely shattered my ankle. So running for me is not like for longevity purposes and staying in the game, I guess. I don't really do a lot of running because of the impact on it. So every morning I do swimming, and I'll be on the stationary bike for hour and a half at a time. I don't make it easy, you know. Especially on the bike, I keep it at a pretty good level as far as like a high incline, and I'll bike anywhere from 10 to 15 miles.
Maddie Ice from Twitch asks, how do you stay injury-free while lifting like a beast?
It's hard to stay injury-free. It's almost impossible sometimes. I mean, we're all bound to get injured at one point. I mean, walking around the gym and I've turned a certain way and my whole lower back starts to hurt or something like that. But maintenance, you know, rehab, taking those days off to recover, trying to keep your form right, trying to, you know, not really, I don't want to say not push the limits because you've got to, but when you do it, just make sure you're in the right mindset, you got the right people around you, your form is correct. Because when form breaks, the pillar breaks. Okay, so right here in about 2 seconds, as soon as I catch my breath, because this is a evil one here. So I'm gonna do the 100-pound dumbbells for as many reps as I can do. Let's see, hopefully we can get 25 or more at 100 pounds. Like I said, it's just something I like to do every once in a while. Just to really pump the chest up, really fatigue the muscles. Plus it's hard. And I mean, yeah, I could go down to like 70s or 75s and do them for like 40 reps. But with training, I look at some of the best that have ever lived, and they all push the limits as far as like heavyweight and things like that. When I get into that point where I'm trying to really like sculpt my body and things like that, I will drop the weight and I will hit the muscles in different directions and different ways to start to shape myself. But I'm just working really a lot on my strength training right now. As long as with the high rep scheme that I can get, which keeps that bodybuilding look and that athleticism basically. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit the 100-pound dumbbells for you guys. You guys can all watch me be in pain for a second.
Is this is this AMRAP considered CrossFit?
Absolutely not. I do no CrossFit. It's not something that I do. CrossFit's not something I do, but I do get that. Everybody thinks when I do high volume stuff, it's CrossFit because of what it is, because it's cardio. But even as a powerlifter or as a bodybuilder, obviously bodybuilder, but cardio is just a big thing. And I like getting my cardio in here as well. I mean, this is what's really going to build that muscle mass. And with muscle mass comes more strength that I'm able to build on my 3 big lifts. So the more mass that you can put on, the more strength and power I'm going to get on my 3 big lifts. So like I've been saying this whole time, the accessory work and all this stuff that I'm doing is key to building bigger benches, deadlifts, and squats. Anything else?
Yeah, there's a lot of questions.
One more.
If you want one
more.
Okay. How long are your average lift sessions?
My average lift sessions, when I'm peaking for like bodybuilding or powerlifting, they're longer because I need longer time in between my sets. So, but when I'm doing the bodybuilding thing, just strictly bodybuilding, or like today, you know, it's an hour and a half. But when I'm in the groove and I'm really like peaking for a meet, they can be about 2 hours long. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit these 100-pound dumbbells for you guys. You guys can cheer me on. Is there any guesses how many reps I'm gonna get?
We can ask and then see.
How many reps do we think I'm gonna get right now? Don't be picking crazy numbers. Okay, come on. So I think it's about 26, 27 reps.
Nice. I'll read off some of the numbers. 40, 17, 15 to 25.
Oh, we got good ones
20,
in there.
27, 25, 15, 33, 27, 10, 9, 52.
Good. So my best ever, I believe, is like 38. I did it prior to doing all this working out. I did it to see how many I could actually do right out the gate, and it was 38 reps. So I did that. 26 today's not bad after doing all the volume stuff that I did, all the heavy dumbbell work that I did. So I'm actually pretty happy with that. So like I said, guys, all it is just keep going until you can't hit it anymore. Obviously, that last rep that I did, I really had to kind of fight for that one a little bit. So try those out at the end, you know, of your dumbbell sessions or bench press sessions. Work on those dumbbells. Work on some AMRAPs, like I said, and put that into any type of body part that you're working out, you know. You can add it into anything, leg day, back day, or whatever. But I try to do it like once a week. I'll have an AMRAP day during the week, whether it be chest or buys, back or whatever. Just always try to throw it in there. So now I'm gonna go ahead and go over to chest flies. I'll do a few of those for you guys. Like I said, this is really just getting a really good stretch, really good pump. Stretching out the muscles after I've been lifting like this is a great thing to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this.
Got a comment from Twitch. They said, this time-traveling Viking is teaching us how to get strong AF.
That's good. That's what I'm here to do, is help you guys get strong.
How many calories do you eat each day?
I would say that I'm probably sitting around like a little around 4,000 or so right now, 5,000. I'm not a big calorie counter. I count my proteins and my fats and carbs a lot, really, more than anything. I'm not trying to sit here and burn calories right now, you know, to get all diced up or anything like that. My goal is to make sure that I'm fueling my body for these heavy workouts right now. So I do obviously can notice how many calories I'm kind of eating because I do know what I eat all day, every day. So I would say around 4,000 to 5,000. When I started to try to grow and get up to like 255 pounds, something like that, I mean, the calories were jumping up to about 7,000 calories a day. How some guys can eat like 10 or anything like that, it's pretty wild. So I'm gonna go ahead and do some chest flies for you guys. Like I said, not a crazy amount of weight. Where did I put? This is where that the squeezing and the things that you guys are talking about will come into play right here. So one thing is that I like to do is when you guys get to a point where you're really starting to get tired right here and you can't fly no more, bend over a little bit and start doing some just press downs right here. This is gonna hit the same chest. So if you guys start to get to the point when you're doing your flies, you're starting to get a little bit fatigued, or you want to push it a little bit more, just bend over, start doing some press downs. So on these, I try to keep the rep scheme around 12 to 15 on these. Each time I'm going up in weight. So I'll move up the weight, do 15 more, move up the weight, move 15 more. A good time, if you're trying to time yourself, a good timing for yourself is to, if you have a workout partner, as soon as he gets done going, you immediately get going. The key for this is time under tension. A lot of reps, a lot of volume, good intensity.
Nicholas says, I've been unmotivated lately. Seeing this video makes me want to hit the gym again.
That's awesome. Get in there and hit a couple reps for me, man. Appreciate it. That's the last one of those. I'm gonna show you guys one more thing to kind of hit the chest real quick. As you can see, the blood flow's going, the chest starting to get pumped up already. I just learned this little evil workout with Hani about a week ago. It's called ladders, and it's brutal, but it hits the chest. It's awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that as like a quick finisher just to get some more blood flow in the chest. So with these, it's not about weight, it's about reps, it's about squeezing, it's about contraction. And control. So what the ladder is, I could tell you, but Hani likes to, he has how many times he goes ups and downs, whatever he does. So I'm gonna start low, I'm gonna climb up, I'm gonna climb up. That's the ladder coming up. So basically I'm hitting all the way up the chest, finishing off with the upper chest. Depending on how I feel, depending on how things are going, maybe I'll drop it down again, maybe drop it again. But the key is start at the bottom, come all the way up.
Huge salute to Beard Games.
What's that?
Huge salute to Beard Games.
Thank you. Everybody likes the beard, I'm telling you. The beard makes me stronger. On these last ones, I'm just gonna go ahead and come back down, and then I'm gonna squeeze and hold a few for just however long, just squeezing. One more. And then some half reps, just to slam blood in there. And that's the fly workout right there. Try the ladders, guys, so you can see the chest is really full of blood, really pumped right now. So that's it for chest. That's part of my chest thing. The last thing I will do is I will hit a quick set of triceps. On my bench days, I like to hit triceps. And on my deadlift days, I like to hit biceps. And then I have my own bis and tris day as well. One of my weakest points are my bis and tris as far as growth. So right now I've added those in there. Quick little three sets of 15 real quick on the triceps. And then like I said, I'll be ready to go when it comes arm day. Hit it a little bit harder. So I like to use this bar for triceps due to the fact that it has different areas that I can grab, even reversing it. It basically allows me to hit the tricep in a whole nother angle. So I'll go ahead and show you guys what I'm talking about here. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'll show you the workout that I do real quick. As I start out wide, I'll do 10. I bring it in close, I do 10. I bring it even closer, I do 10. And then I reverse it out on the outside and I do 10. So it's about 40 reps all together. We'll do 3 sets of those. Bring it in one last time to where your thumbs are hitting I'm pretty much hitting the bar itself. And then last one is I will grip it, reverse grip, right on the outside. I like to put my thumbs on the outside so I'm really as wide as I can be. Same thing, triceps, rotating at the bottom, squeezing at the bottom. And that's one set. We got 2 more to go. So same thing, increasing the weight. Jumping right back into it. Same rep scheme. All right, by this set, you guys should have a really good tricep pump going into the last one. Really push yourself on this last one. Your last few reps, you should be struggling. So I'm sitting at 80. Could I do 90? Absolutely. But I want to push it. I'm going to go to the hundreds and try to finish it up with that. Remember, when you guys are feeling that pain, it's a lot of mental pain, you guys. Just a lot of mental. Just push through it. It hurts like hell, but hey, just push through it. It's going to be beneficial at the end. You'll feel a lot better about yourself at the end, too. Last one. And there you guys have it. That's one of my chest workouts for you guys right there, from powerlifting to strength training on the dumbbells to really getting good blood flow and real good pump on the cables. This is something that I do all the time. Training like this, working out like this is going to help build not just your physique, but your strength and power as well. Thank you guys for chiming in, and we'll do this again sometime. Thank you.